Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this reading. This is going to be for anyone that is out of it, because I don't know about you, but I've been feeling super tired, super out of it. So what the hell is going on? That's the question that we're going to ask, kind of like a collective, but I'm super out of it. I can barely do readings today, so I figured, you know what, why not do just like a random ass reading where we see what is going on. Why is everybody so tired? If you are tired, you know, watch this video. If you're not, then I guess don't. But let's see here, as a collective, what is going on for everybody. Why is everybody tired? And we're going to do like kind of more kind of past, present, future. That's how I'm going to line this up here. So again, basically past, present, future, although I kind of feel like this is current as well. In the past energy here, we have this despair card, and you can see this guy looks very sad and all this other stuff, right? So he feels like he's at a loss. The moon, the Four of Pentacles, and the Magician really tells me creative energy. Again, it's kind of funny that I did this video. Whenever I feel like this, I always force myself to do something because I know that when I'm channeling, usually I'm getting energy from source. It kind of gives me more energy. So as long as I'm creating something, then I usually feel better. I usually feel kind of better after I do it. I feel like I'm in a better zone, you know, if you will. So I kind of feel that for everyone. If you're tired right now, if you're feeling exhausted, if you're feeling lost even, I would say that creating anything, doesn't matter what it is, could kind of move the energy forward. The thing that I would say here with the Magician in this first row as well is that the Magician really also says that you're not doing something that you need to be doing. So I'd say if you've been thinking about doing something, it is probably, and I can tell you right now that that's probably not working, the microphone. But anyway, if you've been thinking about doing something, you know, to me, look at this. Magician, 8 of Wands, 2 Wands. It's like the quickest way, you know, away from this energy is to get moving on something. It's funny that I literally asked that question the other day on my community tab, like, what's preventing you from getting started, basically. It was more complicated than that, but that's basically the question I asked because I've been feeling this energy, like, significant on a very deep level, that we need to get started. And I've talked about this a lot, but I feel like a lot of people are kind of stuck here in this like lack mentality or feeling like they don't have the things they need to get started or not being sure of a direction. The funny thing is that with the moon here, it's almost as if like everybody does know exactly the direction they need to go in. You know exactly what you need to do. There's a path straight down the middle of this card here that ends in those mountains. There's a certain amount of like vulnerability with the moon card, and the vulnerability comes from this lobster right here. The lobster isn't meant to be on land, and the lobster is still wearing its armor. You know, he's still wearing his suit of armor, right? And it kind of represents wearing a suit of armor, but it represents also needing to be vulnerable, kind of like expressing yourself. Being vulnerable could be the thing that allows you to go down the path on the moon card. And it's funny that, you know, some people do say that the moon represents an eclipse right here. I personally don't. I'm not saying that's wrong, but personally to me, it just represents a period after a full moon. I don't really connect it to the eclipses or anything like that. Again, if you want to, you can. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, I don't. But it is interesting. We're in between eclipses. I'm shooting this on the 10th. We're about to have another one on the 15th, 16th. You know, depending on where you are on Earth, basically. But we're kind of like in this weird zone. And I feel like everybody's been here for a very long period of time. 4 of Pentacles. It's getting kind of boring for me, so I'm sure it's getting boring for all of you. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. But it's like, you know, I repeat myself all the time saying that we all need to kind of like move towards something new, that we need to do something, you know, different in life if we truly want to grow at this time. And moon card, it's going to require bravery as well. I'm going to clarify this reading, but I'm surprised that the strength card didn't show up here because to me, like collectively, as far as the collective is concerned, to me, everything that we're being asked to do does require strength, or it should require strength, or it's going to require some sort of bravery again, because the moon is kind of like you know exactly what you want to do, but the path is illuminated, right? If you've ever been outside on a full moon, it's like you can see pretty much everything, but there's still fears, there's still the darkness, you know, not. Will, you know, having all these questions, will people understand me? Will my parents hate me if I quit school? If I break up with my boyfriend, are they going to get mad at me? If I break up with my girlfriend, are they going to get mad at me? But it's like, you know, I feel like this reading is like really saying, what do you really want? Here, it doesn't matter what other people are going to feel, right? And I feel there's a deep feeling going on here with that moon card. Pretty intense stuff. Like I said, I knew, like, I am exhausted, right? I feel the intense energy. It's funny that I said it again. Right now, having gotten into the reading, I feel much better. Like I said, Magician, I kind of feel like this is part of the solution for all of us, is just creating something could kind of get the energy, moving. I do feel a little bit more awake right now. I do feel like I'm kind of snapping out of it a little bit, right? But at the same time, I feel like we kind of have to create. T is pointing to the ground. I always say that the moon doesn't say stop anywhere on the card. The moon says you have to ground some sort of dream, goal, wish, whatever in reality, and you have to make it a reality as well. You have to kind of bring something down to earth. And I feel like this reading is encouraging pretty much everyone, again, in the collective, to bring some sort of dream down to earth. My thing about the Magician is, again, he kind of represents that, but he also represents no movement as well sometimes. Not always true, but intuitively I feel that there's a lot of hesitation with this Magician card. Why? I would say it's because you're becoming something completely different. He has a snake wrapped around his waist, and it represents the Ouroboros. It, represents reinvention, totally changing, right? Becoming something different. So that's part of the reason why. Next, you have this Tall Tale card right here. I have Gemini popping into my head right now. We have a lot of this energy in Gemini. Mars retrograde will be in Gemini, right? A couple months ago, I was talking about these retrogrades in Gemini, and I was saying, like, we are entering into two totally different worlds. We are literally seeing people living in two totally different worlds. I mean, it's like I use the example, of mask, no mask, right? And this is not a political statement that I'm making here, so don't get all, political on me. I don't care about politics at all, period. I think we should arrest them all, get rid of them, right? Because they just create more division, more pain, more anger, more everything, right? They create all these problems, right? So what I would say here is that I feel like part of it, number one, don't watch the news, as I always say. Be careful of the information that you're consuming with this Tall Tale card. But I would also say that all this Gemini energy is very interesting to me, because, again, it's like these two totally different worlds. But part of me, for you, whoever you are watching this, it's like, it's the Empress is like who you can become, is what I feel here. But the other part of it is like imposter syndrome. It's like feeling like you're not good enough to do something. And so it's like, I feel like that Tall Tale is like you feeling like you're not qualified to step into this new life, right? So you have the Empress, the Eight of Wands, and the Page of Cups here. Again, I feel that this is your energy. Part of me feels like this is what you could become, collective, right? The Empress. A lot, and it's funny that I said Gemini because I'm always saying to Gemini that they have all these glow up cards in their readings, and it doesn't matter what sign you are, right? I feel like everybody has the opportunity to really glow up right now. The Star, a lot of energy in Aquarius, and I keep telling everyone that everyone needs to be their own little star at this time. I truly believe that everyone needs to shine bright, but everything is trying to dim your light, right? And no doubt about it, people are going to come out of the woodwork to try to dim your light if you're trying to be a star, if you're trying to put something out into the world. But that's exactly what the world needs, is positive influence, positive people to look up to, things like that, which is that's the Star card basically. And the Empress is like the glow up. But again, I feel like this is more a question of like asking, am I good enough to do it? The Eight of Wands is quick success. And again, I do feel that if you just get kind of moving on something, I know that's easier said than done with the Magician to the Eight of Wands. I feel like that's easier said than done, but I feel like if you do just get moving, like success is obviously going to come quickly here. And the Page of Cups is, again, a dream. It's almost like I see misty energy. It's more misty to me, is what I would say. It's like waiting for things to fall into place that aren't going to fall into place. It's like, it's like imagine you have a bunch of mist, around. Eventually, it kind of condenses and becomes water. Could form into like a puddle, right? And I know this is, I don't know, it's kind of like weird how it's popping into my head here, collective, but that's how it's popping into my head. I feel like everyone is, it's like everyone, like everything is mist right now. I feel like people are waiting for something to condense, but I just don't see that happening. I don't think there's going to be any condensation, right? I feel like we have to become, it's almost like we have to become water, as Bruce Lee said, right? And that's what I feel like this Page of Cups is kind of saying. I didn't expect this reading to be so deep, but not that I don't want to brag here or anything, but again, I feel like it's much more deep than I realized. Again, I feel a very, very intense energy, but what I would say with that Page of Cups is I feel like there's a dream, and it's like you're almost waiting for these, particles to come together to make it a reality. but I feel like you have to be the one to kind of like make the particles, become a reality, basically. I feel like you have to be the one to make everything come together. Next, you have this fourth house card, says home. Major focus on the home right now. I talk about this all the time. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if everybody would be moving quite a bit, or traveling quite a bit over the next few years, and then moving again. Again, I'm planning on moving again right now. I'm sure I've moved a million times, right? And I know for a fact that in like 2025, I'm just going to move again, right? Just because of the astrology, but that's fine. So I feel like there's a focus, but I feel like there's more of a focus of people trying to find their place, trying to find their people, their tribe, whatever you want to call it, with the fourth house, but also trying to find a place to fit in. Everyone has the Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles, and the Star card. I really feel this is encouraging you to leave the Four of Pentacles behind. The Two of Wands, he thinks he knows everything that's possible. He thinks he has experienced everything that is possible to experience. I always say he's like at the top of this castle. He's holding the world in his hands, and he's grabbing onto that other wand, but he's kind of like looking out in front of him, and he thinks what is in front of him is like all there is. He thinks what is in front of him is all that he can, manifest, create, whatever you want to call it. But really, it's like he has the whole world in his hands. So it's like there's much more opportunity in front of him than he realizes. He just needs to kind of like get to work. He needs to make things happen. With the Two of Pentacles, get to work. I also feel like we have very much a choice at this time. I feel like the choice is which reality we choose to kind of like buy into. I'm not saying ignore reality. There's a difference between ignoring reality and also like kind of creating your own reality or taking control of your reality, which is more important. I sat here today, I was trying to get this a live stream going, right? Because I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and Mercury retrograde, right? the live stream just wasn't working, wasn't cooperating for whatever reason. So, it's like things didn't go according to plan. But in that live stream, I wanted to talk about how, I'm on my new channel, I'm challenging myself to do 10,000 experiments in a year. And the reason I want to do this is because, again, I think right now a lot of people are living automatically. We see this with reactions in the news, a reaction to basically anything. And again, I'm not making a political statement here. I think people should believe whatever they want to believe. That's not my job to tell you what to believe, right? But I'm just saying it's very reactive. It's like, very quick, immediate, angry. Everybody's upset. Everybody's yelling at the camera. I mean, it's getting a little exhausting, right? For me. Anyway, I don't know about anybody else, but it's just like the same. Everybody's like upset about this, upset about that, right? And it's very tiring. So I feel like it's tiring for a lot of people. But I'm not saying we ignore those things that are important to us. But what I am saying is it's like the immediate reactions I think are getting a little out of control. I think we need to like think through things before we have a reaction to anything that's going on. I don't care if it's like what color cotton candy is your favorite or whatever they put on the news, right? But what I am saying is like I think that being just like 5% less reactive to situations would probably be a good idea, thinking things through and all that other stuff. I keep telling people, again, I just don't care anymore if I get banned, but, what I would say is that I think that we are in a time of great deception. Neptune and Pisces, I literally said this 2 years ago. I don't want to say I predicted the pandemic, but, basically 2 years ago in a live, I said Neptune and Pisces is poison, disease, anything that flows, all this other stuff. And, I said it's a time of great deception where it's like the things that we're seeing probably aren't true, anything. And, I think we have to like really kind of like take back control over our reality with the Two of Pentacles. And, basically by putting work into things that we want to see be successful, the Star. So the Star is like a card of wishes, hopes, dreams, inspiration, anything that's inspiring to you. It's you becoming an inspiration for other people as well. So anything you can do to become an inspiration would probably be a good idea. This could be through like starting a business, starting a YouTube channel, doing anything that excites you, with the Star card. She is pulling water from the pool of universal consciousness and she's pouring it onto the land. The water is going out into the earth right there. So it's kind of like by her being an example, by her kind of living her own dream or kind of inspiring other people, she is pouring energy from the universe out onto the land. And again, I've been babbling on about this forever, like for the past like 6 months, mostly because of all the Aquarius energy. I feel like everybody kind of needs to be their own like little star. I feel like everybody needs to be their own light, their own shining light. Whatever that means for you is what I would say to you. Really, I feel like it's very, very simple for you. It's if there's something that scares you, I would do it because that's probably enough, right? With that moon card. And I'm not talking about something super scary. I'm saying like maybe, with Neptune and Pisces, if you don't know what it should be, by the way, I think it's very simple. With Neptune and Pisces, I would look at anything that is like a generational curse that needs to be broken in your family, right? Is there, or a tradition that could be broken, that could be a generational curse. Like it's like, just for some examples. And again, I think people hear the word curse and they think something bad. It doesn't have to be anything bad. It could be like maybe nobody in your family has gone to school. You could be going to school, and maybe you've been thinking about it already. But by doing it, you're inspiring those people. Is there a belief that your family has? Do they all believe that money is evil? Maybe you could create great wealth and show them that money can do great things. You can donate it, you can give it away, you can do whatever. It's going to be different for all of you. Like I said, you're going to have to kind of like examine your own life. But it's probably something that's like a little scary, but it's also probably something you've been thinking about. I think if you feel like, I feel like if you feel like a yo-yo right now, then that's also what you should be looking at. Like if you have something like a job, and you keep going out and you keep thinking, oh, I want to start this business, or oh, I want to go get a new job, but then you get scared and you retreat back like a yo-yo, then I would look at that area of your life. Same thing in love. It's like maybe you're thinking you want love, but maybe everybody tells you how terrible people are, and it's like you keep thinking, oh, I want love, but you keep retreating. Then I would say, look at that. That's probably the area where you could take a little bit of a risk here, or you could go prove people wrong, basically, right? With the moon, you have the King of Cups. I don't know, for like, this is why I'm doing a collective. I've been making the joke that for 2022, I could probably just do collectives and be done because all the readings are the same. Everybody gets the King of Cups lately. King of Cups is about your emotions. He is very emotionally stable. He doesn't care what is going on around him. Exactly what I was saying. I would encourage everyone to be very careful of your thoughts. I'm not saying don't have reactions to anything that comes up in the news or anything like that. I would just take a second, and just kind of examine things and say, like, is this truth? Is someone trying to get me pissed off? Right? That's how we take back control, right? Like I said, I feel like we're in this very reactive energy where everybody's just reacting. And again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't defend the things you believe in or anything like that. But what I am saying is like slow things down, because again, I think that I don't know. I just think in the future, a lot of people are going to be like, why did I act like that? And Mars retrograde, I keep giving the example of Will Smith. It's like Will Smith clearly does not watch Minnow Pond Tarot, because if he did, he wouldn't have done what he did. Mars retrograde year. I don't care what anyone says. It's like, yeah, the retrograde isn't until the end of the year, but to me, I block off, whenever there's a Mars retrograde, which there is about every 2 years, right? I block off the entire year, and I'm like, I'm not going to have any public outbursts, right? Because it's not a good idea, plain and simple. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Magician. Again, it is time for you to create. Like I said, it is time for you to create something new. The Magician, he is also pointing towards the Eight of Wands. I mean, Eight of Wands, as Esther Hicks says, is your rockets of desire. It is your arrows of desire, right? We're always telling the universe what we want, and the universe is always responding. But I think we create a lot of resistance, as she says, where it's like we tell the universe we want one thing, but with our actions, we kind of like do another. So I feel like it's very important that we kind of do things that keep us in alignment. One of the things I was going to talk about in the live was this right here. And that is called It Works. There's a book on Amazon. It's called It Works by R.H.J. And it's like $1.99 or something like that. There are plenty of videos on YouTube for free that tell you exactly how to do this. But it's called It Works. It's not the scam MLM. It Works, which it was like a diet scam, right? It's a book. It's like called The Little Red Book That Manifest Miracles or something like that. And the reason I do this is not for magical purposes, not because I think magically it manifests things in my life, but because it keeps me in alignment, right? It's like by focusing on the list, I am going to do a video on it, but by focusing on the list of all the things that I want, it kind of keeps me in alignment. It gives me this right here. It gives me a North Star with the star card. In the back of the book, by the way, I have written my This is my chief aim, which is also from Think and Grow Rich, right? There are some other books on writing your chief aim as well out there that exist. I think one of them is called The Chief Aim. And so what I do is every single day, multiple times a day, whenever I'm down on myself, whatever, I read my chief aim. And again, is it magical? Maybe it is. And great, I'll accept the magic. But I think too many people are out there shilling basically the law of attraction, making it seem like it's magic. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I like to believe in magic, but at the same time, I think there's very kind of more real world reasons why it works, you know, right? Keeps me focused, especially during times like this. So anything you can do to focus yourself with that star, I would be doing. Especially right now. With the Magician, you have the Knight of Cups, your dreams. There's a major focus on our dreams because, I think if we don't do something, like if we don't move more towards our dreams, things are just going to get very stale, very stagnant in the world, plain and simple. We're already there. It's like already... it's like we've been dealing with bad ideas for a long time, like, the government, the inflation. It's like, why do we have it in the first place? Why do we have a Federal Reserve in the first place, right? It's like we've been dealing with these bad ideas for too long. So it's not time, again, I think people think like, what do we do? Do we go to war with these people? Do we have a revolution or all this other stuff? No, we don't have to do any of that. What we need is the star. The star is just better ideas. Better ideas win all day long, plain and simple. But a lot of these ideas are going to come from, you, probably, regular people, and your dreams, Knight of Cups. So I feel like everybody needs to kind of like manifest their, some sort of dream at this time. Very repeating cards at this point, by the way. Empress, you have the Page of Cups, which we have twice here. Page of Cups is, again, your dreams. He's dreaming of that fish that's in that cup there. And I always say that's like something he needs to grab onto. He needs to make that fish a reality. He needs to grab onto that fish and make it happen, which I kind of feel like as a collective, everybody should be doing right now, like grabbing onto your fish and making it happen. Whatever it is for you. And again, it could be love. It could be creating a family. It could be creating abundance of some sort. It could be starting a business. Like I said, it could be just going and accomplishing something that's super hard. But I would definitely encourage that at this point. With the Eight of Wands, you have the King of Wands. Yeah, it's funny because I'm pretty sure that in the live that worked the other day, that the King of Wands came up. And I was talking all about the King of Wands and how the King of Wands, he really, really nurtures something into existence. A lot of nurturing energy here. A lot of these Cups cards, plus the Empress. King of Cups I consider like the true entrepreneur, but it doesn't have to be, he's entrepreneurial energy, but it doesn't have to be a business. We can be entrepreneurial with a relationship. And what that means is it doesn't mean you're treating it like a business, but it means like you're doing things to improve it all the time. You're working on it. You're actually focusing on it. You're paying attention to it and caring for it, And so I feel that energy is very important. Like I said, I was surprised that the Strength card didn't come up. And there you go. I mean, not the Strength card, but very similar energy with the King of Wands. He's very bold, courageous. He really goes for the things that he wants. And I said it in that live the other day, I think, that fortune favors the bold right now. I feel that as a collective, we need to be bold, assertive. We really need to go for the things that we want at this time. With the Page of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles. Teamwork makes the dream work. Duh. I don't know. I've been talking about this for like 2 years now, that if you want to be successful, you should be building a team or doing something involving teamwork. It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be like if you have a business, don't necessarily have to hire people. You could be just like forming a work group or a mastermind, or you could be in a Facebook group that is about your business. Same thing in love, like surround yourself with people who actually have love. I think part of the problem in modern day relationships is like we're all surrounded by bozos, right? People who don't know how to date, people who aren't even serious about relationships in the first place. And I'm not saying that's wrong, by the way. Like I'm of the belief that people should do whatever the hell they want, right? Especially in love. It's like if you don't want to be serious, and that's what you truly want, go for it, right? But I would say here, if you are, then I would make sure you're surrounding yourself with the appropriate things, right? With the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles also encourages fun. I've talked about this a lot as well. She's got polka dots on her shirt, on her cloak, and polka dots in the tarot represent needing to have more fun, needing to have more excitement, entertainment, whatever in life. And again, I think things have become too stale, too much the same, basically. With the Two of Wands, well, you have two cards, the Empress and the Six of Pentacles. There you go. Six of Pentacles says, if you don't know what to do, just start planting seeds. Six of Pentacles says, try, put energy in. It reminds me of Justice, because he's holding the balance in front of him as well. It basically says, if you don't know what to do, put a little bit of energy into something. If it works, keep moving in that direction. If it doesn't work, stop, do something else. And so I really feel like we kind of have to trust results at this time. And yeah, by the way, it is a Mercury retrograde right now, so I totally understand that. But what I would say is, again, yo-yo, like I said earlier, right? It's like what you've been thinking about doing for a while. It's probably not something old that a lot of you are thinking about doing. It's probably something you've been thinking about doing for quite a long time. You've probably been thinking about starting a business for a long time, or you've been planning it, or you've been thinking about making some changes here, especially with that Magician. So that's what I would say there. The other thing is that I would say is Magician, reinvention. It's like if you're reinventing yourself during Mercury retrograde, are you going to be the same after? Probably not, but it's like you will have discovered something during this period of time. So I would encourage you to make the change, even if you change again after the retrograde. Who cares, right? That's what I would say there. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups says focus on what you really want. We were talking about this with the book, that it works, right? Focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. I think if, like I've been telling everyone, I mean, really, I think if you can just make it like 51% to the positive, things are going to go really, really well for you. You don't even have to be like a total freak like me, just always trying to be positive, right? But again, 51% is probably all that's necessary. With the Star, you have the Six of Cups, a gift from the universe and a turnaround. Love it. Six of Cups literally is like, it can represent innocence, nostalgia. To me, it's a clue for obstacles being removed from your life, like an obstacle from the past, something that has been preventing you from moving forward, being removed from your life. And so I kind of feel that for you here, that there could be like some obstacles, or there could be some things that have been removed from your life, or that will be removed from your life, that will kind of be moving you forward. So super interesting reading. I like this. I like where it's going. So thank you for being here, Collective. Really appreciate it. Definitely let me know what you think of this type of reading. I think I'm going to do collectives every once in a while. But, I felt like doing one just because, I don't know, it feels gross today. I don't like it. So thank you, and definitely enjoy the rest of your week.